for Halloween, the dead have risen! Don't bite my fingers. Oh,
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. Today we're going to be playing blue-black zombies, helmed by the Scarab God. The Scarab God is oftentimes played as either a zombies commander or a reanimation mill commander. I'm going to be playing the Scarab God as zombies, because it creates zombies out of either my own cards in the graveyard or my opponent's cards in the graveyard. So we're playing the best zombies, the zombie tribal cards, and a whole lot of Liliana in this deck. Also, I'm being bitten by my cat. Good, she just hopped off the table. She's very cute, but she does make recording content sometimes a little bit more difficult. So this deck, we have actually a very low curve. You'll notice that we have a bunch of 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, and then it kind of tapers out here with these mostly being super powerful spells and planeswalkers, board wipes, board bounces, and things like that. Zombies as a tribe is pretty interesting because I'd actually say it has a lot of card draw built into it. You have more than one card that gives you card advantage when your creatures die. You have cards like Cryptbreaker that allow you to tap your zombies to draw cards. And in black, you also have the general mechanic of paying life or sacrificing creatures in order to draw cards. The amount I'm running in here is actually kind of low because I wanted to play a lot of zombie-themed cards because I really like tribal decks. I also did throw in Tasha here because I think she's cool, and also sometimes she wins you games, and I like taking cards out of my opponent's deck, and she does that. I think the spiciest card in this deck, though, is Necroduality. Why? Because it doubles your zombies. Double the zombie, double the fun. We're going to take this into the queue, and I don't know, let the dead walk. Minsk and Boo, timeless heroes. A warrior and a space hamster. Miniature giant space hamster. Out on the attack. This is probably going to be either Gruul control or Gruul aggro. But we have a pretty nice opening hand because we have a card that I actually think should not be legal in Historic Brawl, Wash Away. It is a 1-mana counterspell for commanders. If you thought Tail's End was annoying, welcome to Wash Away. I don't actually have anything for 2, so I'm going to play this Castle Vantress. So Minsk and Boo, this is a planeswalker that spits out this Boo token every turn if you don't already have one. You can buff up the Boo token, and sacrifice creatures to deal damage, and draw cards if you happen to sacrifice Boo. Well, okay, if it was a hamster, so shapeshifters count too. So it looks like they're probably on the more aggressive game plan, because that is a werewolf pack leader. I'm going to play Vizier of the Scorpion. Vizier of the Scorpion comes with a zombie army, but the important thing is that zombie army gets Death Touch. The zombie tokens I control have Death Touch. Are they going to fight? They're going to strike. Okay, we no longer have Death Touch. That's too bad. And next turn, they will probably be able to play Minsk and Boo, so I'm going to have to make sure I leave up 1 mana. So I'm going to play Geralt. Nice. Now I have a flying zombie army. Let's go for it. And I'm still holding up the mana for Wash Away. I have very few counter spells and similar in this deck, because I just don't think that it's that fun, nor do I think it really fits the zombie theme. There's actually a counter spell that makes zombies. Not running it. An Undead Augur. Okay, I can play that. I can also play Tasha. I like Tasha because she does give that nerf to any attacking creatures, which would undo the fight rigging buff at the very least. Pack Leader does have an ability that can give it trample, though. And also, my phone's calendar is booping at me. Ah, it's telling me that Worlds is coming up, because Worlds is coming up. Alright, Tasha, do it again. We're gonna plus... Do I also want a Tovolar? I sort of do want a Tovolar. Want my Scarab God? I'll take Undead Augur, because now I kind of want a board wipe. We also have the ability to sacrifice a non-token creature And make a zombie. Pack leader, attacks! You still not have a 4th land? Oh, wait, no, they're not attacking at all, even though it would have drawn them a card. Hey, Great Henge? I'm actually thinking I'm gonna counter the Great Henge. Great Henge is just a really powerful card draw engine that I don't want to deal with. To Blood on the Snow? Yes. So Blood on the Snow is going to cut them off from Fight Rigging. It's going to cut them off from Minskin Boo, but I think I should attack first. Let's go ahead and swing it in the air. Good flying zombies. And we will destroy all creatures. Snow. And I want to bring back, I think the Vizier of the Scorpion. Alright. Board wipe plus reanimation. They're stuck on lands. That's going to be a win for us and our many zombies. Muldrotha of the Gravetide is our next opponent's commander. Muldrotha is all about replaying things from the graveyard, which means that we're going to have to be, well, quick about exiling things from their graveyard to reanimate them with Scarab God. This hand is actually pretty good if I want to play aggressively. I'm going to keep it. It doesn't have a lot of ramp, but what it does have is a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and a 5-drop. I like a good curve. I'm gonna go ahead and play Tainted Adversary too. By the way, this is an alchemized version of Narfi that costs 1 less if I'm casting it from hand. But if my opponent, you know, has a card that makes me discard, okay, one where I get to choose the card, Thought Erasure, not talking about you. Narfi would be great to have in the graveyard because I can bring it back for 3 snow mana. Thought Erasure, they're gonna make me discard. I think that they're going to hit Glasspool Mimic or Wand of Orcus. I like hitting Glasspool Mimic here if I'm the opponent because I'm kind of stuck on mana. And stopping me from having a 3rd land is a good move. Alright, Tainted Adversary swinging in, and I'm playing this tap. I could have also played the Temple of Deceit, but I don't want them to know what I just drew. It's a secret. Nobody's allowed to know. Now here comes the Temple of Deceit. We scry. I'm going to put that to the bottom. I'm going to play the Lord of the Accursed here. Or Accursed. I'm going to make my other zombie stronger. That's why I played it pre-combat. And now we're swinging in. Tainted Adversary. Bring in the hurt. Tainted Adversary, I didn't use this ability. Actually, I can spit out a ton of zombies. If you have a card that, let's say, is a Champion of the Perished and grows whenever you have a zombie enter the battlefield, using the kicker on this card, it's like this tax you pay after it enters the battlefield, can get really good really fast. We're up to 5 mana. I can either play Liliana's Mastery or Scarab God, and I'm going to go for Liliana's Mastery. This is going to build up my board really well. We now have 4 4s. That's sweet. This is now a 4-5. This is a 3-4, so I can attack in. My cat is rubbing on my leg. I don't know what she is doing, by the way. My cat has been, let's say, very attention-seeking this morning. I think that she's excited that the weather is cooler. It almost hit freezing last night. Either that or she wants me to play with her. Scraps, I'm making YouTube content. I'm streaming on twitch.tv/Amazonian. Why don't you just watch like everybody else? She doesn't understand. To her, this is not an art. I'm gonna swing in with the Scarab God and attack with Tainted Adversary. This has Death Touch, so if they want to trade, I'm down. They don't want to trade. Oh, okay, Scraps is rubbing against my leg. Rubbing against my leg is so often a precursor to her biting my toes. That's why I'm like a little nervous when it happens. Yes, you're a very good cat. You want to come up on the desk? Do you want to be in the video some more? Meow? You're saying meow? I don't know what that means. I don't know what she's saying. Ooh, Professor Onyx, how are you? Alright, this is going to get rid of my Scarab God. I am not going to move it to the command zone because I can avoid paying the command tax. If I actually leave it in my graveyard, it will come back to my hand. Yes, to my hand, please. Now, Professor Onyx, I'm probably going to want to get rid of that. Blade Stitch Scab. Activating this could be nice, too. Even just killing the Cavalier of Thorns and letting them return something could be good. I'm going to do that. I'm going to kill the Cavalier of Thorns, and I'm actually going to ignore Professor Onyx and just go straight for their face. If I don't kill them this turn, hopefully I can kill them the next, because I have another way to increase the power of my zombies. Right now, if they block Lord of the Accursed, they will die. They'll take 12 damage. And this brings them to 1. Now, if they plus Professor Onyx, they'll die. They have to gain life or clear the board. If they cast an instant or sorcery, they'll be able to gain some life off Professor Onyx. Oh, but nope, they're just going for the easy out. Dying by their own Planeswalker. Good game, Muldrotha. Miriam Sentinel Worm. She who makes dragons and more dragons. I'm going to keep this hand, even though our mana's kind of slow in it. So Miriam Sentinel Worm is a pretty scary flyer that hopefully we're going to get some removal for when she comes out onto the battlefield. For the first few turns, though, I expect them to ramp. Miriam is going to be trying to get up to 6 mana, and maybe even playing some things that discount dragons in the meantime. Play these lands that come in tapped. Now ones that come in untapped. I could ramp myself to try to get to the Scarab God, but I'm going to play the Headless Rider. This is a 3-mana 3/1, which is not the best stats, but it does give me a bit of resilience against removal, because if my zombies die, I get more zombies. This only applies to non-tokens, but good news, we have a lot of non-tokens and non-tokens that make tokens, like Lazotep Reaver. Swing in for 3. And chill out with our many zombies. By the way, Lazotep Reaver is such a good card. For 2 mana, you get a 1/2 and a 1/1? That's so good! Oh, Dragon Kami Reborn. I actually don't like this card even in Dragons decks. But let's see how it works out for our opponent. Alright, so this would give us a buff on our zombies, this would give us a buff on our zombies, and more zombies. I'm gonna go with Liliana's Mastery first, because I don't actually have any zombies to cast in hand. And we're gonna swing in for damage. They have enough now to play Miriam. They have 6, 7, actually, mana. And if Miriam comes into play, we can destroy her with Bloodchief Surge. We have just enough mana. Oh, but instead, it's gonna be Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And Reckless Barbarian. Hello, Scraps. Yes, I think you're very cute. Thank you for coming into this room. You sure do want attention this morning. Liliana, Death's Majesty. She'd reanimate things. Bloodchief's Thirst, I could take out one of these blockers. Or Vanquisher's Banner, we could just deal more damage. So I'm going to go for Vanquisher's Banner and Bloodchief's Thirst on this turn. We're going to name zombies. And we're going to destroy the Goblin Shaman token. As a reminder, I didn't do anything on turn 1 and 2. We just built up this board a little bit later in the game, and now we're dealing so much damage because our zombies are growing and growing and growing and growing. Yeah, hi, Scraps. You're very cute. Uh-huh, I think you're super duper cute. They're down to 4, and we have a lot of power on the battlefield. If they destroy my creatures, we still get more zombies. We get 2 of them. Actually, 3 of them, because Lazotep Reavers... Nope, just 2 of them. Yeah, we get 2. Because that one is a non-token, non-token, tokens. They have an egg. They have exiled cards. I don't know what they are. It's a secret to everyone. Do you have a way to kill this? Do you have a way to kill this and maybe make more dragons? Nope, it's gonna be Miriam coming out with 2 mana up. They're gonna neoform the egg. Okay. If there was a dragon, or a creature, I should say, in those exiled cards, There's only one, I believe. Okay. All they did was Neoform, and now if I attack in, they're dead. We just have so much damage. Because zombies. The zombie horde. Good game, opponent. Good game. Ayara, first of the Locktwain. A mono-black commander who's going to gain and drain life whenever a black creature enters their control, and can also sacrifice those creatures to draw cards. I'm going to expect kind of a swarm of creatures coming from my opponent, which is going to make things like Liliana not so good, but things like Crippling Fear really good. So I'm going to keep this, and we're going to try to get a bit more black mana, but I'm going to start with the Glasspool Mimic so I can get some blue. I have Field of Ruin, so if they play a non-basic land, which they might not have that many, I'll be able to target it, sacrifice it, and get some extra fixing. Turn 1 Dark Ritual. That's a card that probably should not be in this format. I don't really understand why it is in this format, but there it is. Dark Ritual, they use it to play their commander on the first turn. Ow. 2 damage. 2 damage on me? Rude. I'm gonna play the Ifnir Deadlands, and I think we're gonna go for Liliana of the Veil. I do have to pay 1 life to get the black mana out of the Deadlands, but I want to say goodbye to Ayara. They may have a spell that lets this die and reanimate, because they are a deck that, yep, Malcure Rebirth, that would have that kind of ability pretty frequently. So Ayara's back, and they're gonna be able to attack Liliana here. Bye, Liliana. Nice seeing you. Oh, and a Thoughtseize. There goes Crippling Fear. Crippling Fear is my mostly one-sided board wipe that's just not gonna happen this game. Tyrite Sanctum. I can only play 1 of these. Would I like you, or you? I'm gonna go for Gleaming Overseer. It's able to block Ayara, and it comes with a fresh zombie! Love those free and fresh Zombarinos. Feed the Swarm on the Overseer. Now I just have a 1/1. I've never seen an Ayara attack this much. Good for her. I could either go double zombies here or Scarab God. I'm just going to go for the Scarab God, and I'm going to set an upkeep stop. I'm hoping that the Scarab God survives until the next turn, so I can bring back my Gleaming Overseer. It would be a 4/4, and it would amass again, which would make this into a 2/2. Hi, Ayara. Where's all your friends? Oh, you don't have any. Well, maybe you shouldn't have played Your Land as a Spell. It was a good play, but, like, I have a feeling they have some 4-drops they really wish they could cast. Good game, Ayara. I guess? Our next opponent is Lonus, Cryptozoologist as the commander. This is a good hand. It's got ramp, it's got removal, and it's got some threats. Also, board wipe. Love board wipe. Lonus is a game objects commander, which that's kind of a nonsense term, but game objects as in tokens, and making lots of them when you get creatures to enter the battlefield. Lonus is in Simic colors, which means that there's a lot of really strong creatures, and also some stack interaction available. So I could go to kill Lonus here. I could ramp. Oh, or I could kill Lonus. Or I could ramp. I like ramp. Let's go ahead and name blue. Give myself a little bit of blue to bounce out all the black I have here. 3 mana and a Ledger Shredder. Playing an Abundant Harvest. That's going to be their 2nd spell for turn. And let's see if they name land or non-land. Shimmer Dragon. They named land, so they wanted more. Wanted more land. And they have clues here, which they can sacrifice to draw. I am going to aim to get rid of Lonus this turn, so I'm going to go ahead, play the Signet. Actually, you know what? I'm going to kill the Ledger Shredder. It's going to get to Connive first, though, because I played the Signet first. I guess I did not need to, so I did get them an extra loot. They'll draw. They'll discard. They're cutin' and lootin'. Wow, they got rid of the Guardian Project. That's one of the best just, like, get more cards kind of spells. So far, by the way, our opponent does not know that we're a zombies deck. They just know I have a Scarab God. But soon, they'll see the way of the us. Uro! So if I reanimate Uro with the Scarab God's ability, it will come into play, and then it will die. It's not the worst thing for me. It really isn't. So do I want Kefnet? Do I want Scarab God? Do I want Kefnet? Scarab God, Kefnet, Scarab God, Kefnet, Scarab God. There's too many gods, too little time. Scarab God it is. Now, Lonis, would you like to sacrifice some clues? I didn't even mention Lonis's other ability. She's a stealer. She's a crime lord. Like the best of us. Like the me. Lonis is able to sacrifice clues to take cards out of my library and play them for free! Oh my gosh! I have a legitimate business god. I do like the legitimate business god. But you have too many creatures. And my commander isn't my commander right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and destroy everybody here. Bonus, you want to do the thing? I wish I had something to reanimate, but unfortunately, I don't. Move my commander to the command zone? Yes, because it lost all abilities and otherwise would not go back. Otherwise, like, I want it to go to my hand, but it wouldn't do it there. Now they have enough cards in graveyard to escape Uro. That's the downside of destroying all those creatures. They do have double blue and double green. Are we going to see a Titan unearthed? Escaping? Attacking? Yes, we are. It's Uro! They did leave some creatures in the graveyard, though, which I'm very appreciative of. Hoping that I can use the Scarab God to bring those back later. With the amount of mana I have, I can double spell here. So I'm gonna go for the Ammit Eternal. And Josu Vess. The reason I'm playing these two is just, it's the most power and toughness I can get on the battlefield. It would have been about the same if I played Kefnet. The Eternal shrinks! Oh no! Swinging in. Gaining 3. Not putting any lands into play. And I'm gonna double block with the Eternal and Josu Vess. So, cool. Back in the graveyard. I want a little more mana before I start doing more Scarab God stuff. I like Undead Augur because that will draw me some cards. We're going to play out a couple more zombies. Nice. Undead Augur, by the way. Zombie I controls die, draw a card, lose a life. This also counts for non-tokens. Fun. It's nice. It's good with decay. Ooh, I see mana things happening. They could, by the way, just open up those clues and draw some cards. Junkwinder! Nice! So that's what I was meaning when I said game objects. Junkwinder has affinity for tokens. It gets super duper cheap because they have all these clues on the battlefield. It cost 2 mana, and only 2 mana. And now they're following up with a Great Henge! That's card draw, life gain, and mana. They can still steal from me, by the way, with Lonus. Do I want to reveal the Marshal? No, Kefnet, I don't. But I do kind of want to play it. I'm gonna go for Scarab God instead. Alright, Scarab God out. Gonna set that lovely little upkeep stop. No attackers. And I'm probably going to use the Scry from Scarab God to set up for Kefnet. Alright, nice. They got a creature from me. They got Tainted Adversary. The other cards they revealed were lands and Vraska's Contempt. That draws them a card. Don't booty boop at me, phone. Phone is just like, you have so much stuff going on today. You have to watch Worlds in 30 minutes. Nice. Junkwinder doing even more tapping. This tap ability on Junkwinder is so powerful. I do not understand how this card is. Alright. It's still happening. Things are going. Oh, hi, Tamio. Speaking of tapping things down, she's very, very good at that. And they swing in! A lot of damage right there. Okay, do I just go for the Scry? Or do I take that Uro for the silly ramp? Uro! I know what I want. It's silly time. Okay, that's not a land. By the way, Undead Augur did see that as a zombie leaving the battlefield. Scry, I do want to land. I'm gonna throw these other two zombies away. We draw, go to main, and this would get me 2 different blockers, one of which they can't tap down, and this would just buff my zombies, which not actually gonna be that helpful here. I'm gonna play Gleaming Overseer. I'm gonna use Kefnet to attack Tamio. I do feel like I'm probably gonna lose this match. Even though we have that board wipe, there's just a lot happening over here. It's really this Junkwinder with Lonus out is so hard for me to deal with. Maybe we'll get super lucky and they just won't draw anything at all. Just, you know, this will just give them lands. All they'll have is lands. They do have lethal damage here, if we do not block. Which is kind of scary. Just a little spooky. Just an itty bit spooky. Nice. And Inspiring Saturate is going to let them tap these tokens in order to use them as mana. I do like that we drew a Tasha, though. It would reduce the amount of damage they're dealing while they attack in, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play it, especially because they've been tapping down my mana sources using Junkwinder. Okay, Chip is going to let them play off the top of their library. They have exactly 69 cards left right now. Nice. Goose is going to move the card off the top of the library. I like how they also have some Fubblthup and Ledger Shredder clones out here. Lonus, what you want? I bet Lonus wants to steal. If I were Lonus, I would want to steal. Oh, Junkwinder's coming in, same with the Tainted Adversary. But they are not swinging for lethal. I am going to block, though, with this hexproof zombie army. Just to prevent a little bit of damage. A zombie died, so we're going to draw a card, lose a life. No, I don't need to reveal that, Kefnet. I think I'm going to hit that Reclamation Sage right here. Get rid of the Henge. Getting rid of Chip would also be good. Now we scry. We big scry. Liliana's Mastery. Drowned Catacomb. White. Eldest Reborn. Wand of Orcus. I wouldn't be able to cast. I'm going to throw all of these to the bottom. Death Baron. That's actually a pretty good card for me to play right here, because it's going to give all my other zombies and skeletons, but I don't have those. Death Touch. Growth Spiral with Improvise. Not that it matters, it's a fully colored spell, they can't cast it here. Manglehorn. They could destroy one of my artifacts over here. Lonus doing Lonus things. More tokens. More power. I do love that, by the way, this is Hexproof, Menace, and Death Touch, thanks to this guy giving the Hexproof and Menace, and this guy giving the Death Touch. This gives me a good blocker. If you attack in with the Junkwinder, and you can't tap this down, you're getting blocked. I do only have 12 life left, though, which is scary, and I don't like it. I also am a little scared of, like, drawing myself to death using the Undead Augur. Is it gonna be Lonus? You could still sacrifice some clues and steal a zombie for yourself. Zombies are probably not that helpful for them to have in the deck. They're still able to play off the top of their library using Chip. Rise and Shine. Whoa, wait a minute. Excuse me? Oh. It's just an overloaded Rise and Shine. Well. Guess I'll block. Guess I'll block as many things as I feel I can. Some clues and some tokens and... Gee golly, that's a lot of you, huh? Heroic Intervention. Gonna make their things indestructible. Okay, so this is the only thing that's going to die here. And I'm going to lose a bit of life. This is fine. It's fine. Upkeep stop. They'll lose 5 entire life here. Is there anything I can get that would help? Not particularly. Alright, let's scry. Necroduality. Necroduality into Lord of the Accursed. Not enough. Okay. Murderous Rider. Bring me to 1 life. It's not very helpful. Everything to the bottom. Meat Hook Massacre. Come on, Meat Hook Massacre me. That's not a Meat Hook Massacre. That's not a Meat Hook Massacre. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play Tasha. She will do the most to reduce incoming damage. I'm just looking again. Get some gravy. Get the Lord of the Accursed. And, like, I guess I could attack them. I'm just beeping outside. They're like, yeah, attack them! Press the attack all button! No, sorry. Crabs have to happen first. Junkwinder, who is still alive thanks to heroic intervention, giving all their creatures indestructible last turn, is gonna tappy. And then I'm gonna get slappied. Good game. Mishkina. I'm ready. Put that bad boy on top of my deck. Can't win them all. But we can watch our opponent do beautiful Simic things. I really do like Lonus as a commander. I think that it's one of the more interesting builds. Oh, you get a Jadar or a Scarab God. They got the Scarab God. Come on, attack me! Oh, R.I.P. Fibblethip. Tasha has a dozen triggers. She says, yes, die, 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 die. Choose blockers. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think it's gonna save me. Because I have 3 life. Oh, I'm dead. I'm very dead. Good game, Lonus. And thank you, everybody, for watching this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I played some of my spookier commanders as we lead up into Halloween. If you ever want to watch me live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian, where I'm recording this right now. Not when you're watching it, but like there's people in the chat. They're there. I can see them. There's people there. Also, as a warning, there will not be YouTube content or streams in about a week from now. November 3rd, I'm going to be taking some time off for some medical crap. So if you're wondering, hey, why hasn't stuff been uploaded? That's why. Surgery. See you later. Bye.